Alright, back for first round. Yeah, that hand would be much worse on the on the draw. I really think Fretwork Colony is not a card you want on the draw ever. So it's kind of a gamble when you main deck it, because obviously if you don't get to play, it's kind of bad. We have a pretty nice curve here though. I mean, Chief into Snare Thopter, and the Colony growing. It's pretty. The opponent has nothing here. They just F6'd. Yeah, that's gonna be nasty. So next turn we are attacking for 7, maybe 9 if they don't have a blocker for the Chief. Pretty good, pretty good. Okay, well that counts as a blocker. Though I guess if they... Okay, now I can attack though. Ooh, Dragster! How nasty can it get? It's good that they, I mean, they made token because they want a chump block, which I can get that, but now it means that I can attack with Chief and get a bit of damage. Jeez, that draw was insane. I mean, I say was like if the game was finished, and it certainly isn't, but good God, like coming back from that is gonna be tough. And Windrake doesn't block that Snare Thopter well at all. Yeah, we'll play the Dragster. It's 2 toughness. Yeah, I think it's just playing that when they are tapped out is really... I guess they could have... Well, they F6 it looks like, because that resolved way too fast. In theory they could have select for inspection, but even if they do, I think I'd rather play that. Chump block here and go down to 3. Yeah. That was a nasty draw. Good God. Yeah. And Fretwork Colony was good here. Holy smoke. Okay, blue-black, mid-range. And my opponent did not do anything on turn 2, but they were not doing anything. Like, Enthusiast into Windrake is, it's decent. That was crazy though. Okay, so they showed Windrake, which is a pretty good thing to die young. I think again, I don't want to play Colony on the draw. I just don't want to do that. Against blue-black, I think I'd rather have Subtle Strike over Rush. They did not show any one toughness creature. Torch Gauntlet is kind of decent in those matchups, potentially. Gives you a bit of late game and things to do. I think I like the squad a bit better against this deck. Lawless Broker, again, I think is a slightly better option than Screecher on the draw. It's kind of even though. Malfi Squad, what would I cut for that? There's nothing I want to cut. Malfi Squad is also nice because it gives me more artifact, which makes the Daredevil better and gives me a better late game. And we will probably go to a later game, next game, because it's not very likely that I have such a sick draw. Yeah, I cut one of my 2-drop creature, so I'm kind of aiming at maybe getting to the later game. If they have some Gearseeker Serpent, it's going to be very troublesome. If they can stabilize, then play a Serpent and start to kill me. But I have a lot of pressure, so... and I have 1 Disintegration, so I can get rid of 1 Snake, maybe. My opponent deck looks like the type of deck who might want to play Serpents. So now, well, there's the Malfi Squad, which I kind of like, but I don't think it's ever going to be better than Ambitious Aetherborn. Especially since blue-black creatures are pretty small, so making a 5/4 can really be troublesome for them. Maybe Squad is better than Screecher. Don't really want to make my curve too high though. Dragster is a bit weaker on the draw. I don't think it's ever gonna be worse than Malfi Squad though. And sure, they showed 1 creature that puts Servos onto the battlefield, which is not what you want to see with Dragster, but yeah, they might not have many more of these, and Dragster still deals 5, like it's a Lavax that is gonna eat a creature, a 1/1. Worst case scenario? I don't know. Ooh, love that hand. Horse scrutiny is nice. I mean, I don't know if it's nice actually, because it's gonna be the first time I cast that, but having that in your opener is just so great. You get a scry, you get a lot of information about your opponent, hands. They multi-6 and put a card on top. And when you mulligan, on the play especially, you don't really want to see a discard spell. And now if I can put a land on the bottom, since I already have 5 land, it's almost like drawing a card. Okay, that's okay. I'm just gonna write down what they have here. I guess now it's written in chat, right? No? If they reveal their hand, it's written, but if you get some, I don't know. I'm just gonna write down to be sure. So there is a select, 2 island and a swamp. Okay, pretty simple. Yeah. Putting that on bottom is like drawing a card because I'm never gonna need that 6th land or 2nd mountain. I'm just gonna look at. Okay. Now it's written. They use an island. The thing is, when I write it down myself, it's slightly better because I can just, you know, erase things when they play them. So they have 1 island and 1 select back and. Thriving Rats, okay. Don't really want to trade my Syndicate Trafficker for the Rats, so I'm just gonna drop the Freighter and pass the turn. Freighter is probably gonna get bounced, but I can live with that. I mean, it's gonna get bounced 1, and after that it's gonna start destroying my opponent. Oh, interestingly enough, they did not keep a blue mana. So, well, I guess I have some solid blockers though, but if I had any trick, that stack would be really bad for them. Really put them in a bad spot. So this is a 5/4. I could trade with the clubs. My opponent should not double block, because with those mana open, there's like 10 spells in the set that really punishes them for double blocking. Now I've waited so much in my main phase that it's pretty obvious I don't have a trick, otherwise I would just attack right away. So I guess I'm gonna play this creature and pass, because I feel like they will double block. And the way they play the Prakata Club security, though I guess they have a select for inspection in hand, which means that in theory they should wait. They should take 5 this turn. Yeah, I probably misplayed here. I think you should just attack right away. I don't think your opponent should ever double block, because first, if I have trick, they are getting destroyed. And second, they can do the same block next turn, but with the select backup to make sure I don't have a trick. So I probably misplayed by not stacking. I think my opponent was pretty likely to just take 5 and not very likely to double block. At least, I think double blocking is very risky and in general a misplay. I think it's especially wrong if you have select in hand, and I knew they had select, so yeah. Hopefully you got what I meant here and what I'm thinking. But I think not attacking is a misplay. Talking about me, obviously. I should not auto yield though, because I might want to sack the Freighter to the Trafficker, like if they use, I don't know what they could use, but I might want to do that. Dragster. Yeah, I'm certain. Attacking last turn was probably right, but this turn it certainly isn't, so I guess I'm just attacking with this creature. Sorry about that. Yeah, I should have attacked last turn. My opponent would not have double block, at least if they have... The thing is, if my opponent is randomly not a good player, it's kind of, you know, not very nice to say that, but if indeed they are not very good and they double block, which I think is a misplay, then I really don't want to trade my Freighter for the club security, so I think it's close. And now we have another close call. If this resolves, should we make a token or not? I think we should. The reason is, well, if we trade here, I'm fine, because then the Freighter can start beating down. Second, they can make the same double block than they would on the Freighter, so having a 5/4 is not that much better. Third, Servo can crew on the dragster, and oh, they did not get an island of the ambition. Did they play a land this turn? Oh, they were looking for an island, I think, to be able to keep the trick available. They did not draw it, and they discarded the serpent. Okay, that's great for us. And yeah, Servo can crew the dragster, so I think it's just much better in general. And now I can just attack with everything, pretty much. Emerald Bruiser, that was a nice one. So now time has come for the beatdown. This cannot crew the freighter, so because it enters the battlefield tapped. So this will crew that, it's pretty clear. And I guess, yeah, I'm probably gonna crew. Attacking with Trafficker is kind of good. Well, either way, it doesn't change much because my opponent pretty much has to block block my freighter here. It's kind of a beating though. Maybe keeping the freighter for this attack when they are tapped out was good in the end. So maybe the thing I called a misplay earlier on will end up being decent for me. Because yeah, that's 18. So they need to make some blocks. If they double block on the freighter, they go down to 4. And after the attacks, I can play the Bruiser. And there's no Wrath of God in black, so yeah, I don't see how they come back. If they had found their island of the ambition, I think my opponent would be in a decent spot. They could double block the freighter safely. I don't have a trick, so it doesn't matter, but they could double block the freighter safely. Maybe bounce the dragster, take 7. Still not great, but it would be kind of fine. That first potential attack with the freighter was interesting. I think I might have gotten 5 damage here. I think, again, my opponent was very likely to take the damage. Despite me having a very, very good draw and kind of crushing my opponent, this was, I mean, I say was, but it's definitely not over. This has been a pretty interesting game just because of the freighter play. Like, you know that if they double block, it's really bad for you. You don't want to trade your freighter for a security club, but it seems so unlikely that they block, and double blocking is such a misplay when you have the Select for Inspection in hand, I think. Okay, they can make that 2 block here, block the dragster, take, what, 12 down to 5? Well, that's certainly something. If I had attack with the Trafficker instead of the 4-3, they could not really do that play. The thing is, if I attack with Trafficker, I'm kind of forced to sacrifice one of my artifacts. The only one I can sack is the Servo. If I sack it, then I cannot crew on the dragster anymore. Dragster is probably dying either way, but... And it means I cannot play Bruiser, and I have no reason not to play Bruiser when... You know, if it was a white deck, that would be another question. That would be much different because they could have Fumigate, but here I have no reason not to play it afterwards and apply some more pressure. As my opponent goes down to 5. And I don't... yeah. They were already really far behind, but the Bruiser makes it even worse for them. They have Select for Inspection, which is good at giving tempo back. Sure. Getting back their Daredevil. If my opponent can stabilize, it's gonna be... They are gonna win fairly easily, I think. They have a freighter of their own. They put a card on top. Okay. I drew a creature, which I think means they are dead. Yeah. If I don't have a creature, I have to crew with my Trafficker. I attack with everything. No, actually, yeah, they can bounce one of the flyer, chump block here, gain 1 life, take 1, take 3, and be fine. Since I have the Etherborn, they are pretty dead though. Yeah, great top deck again. It's gonna seal the deal for me. And my opponent knows it, because I can double crew on the freighter, attack with everything. They just die no matter what. Like, they can bounce the 4-power creature, but then oh, they did not concede yet, but yeah, that's gonna be GG. There is even with the bounce, it doesn't work for them. I'm gonna make another servo, I think, either way, because the 2 servos can crew the. Well, I guess. Yeah. It doesn't really matter at that point. I attack with everything and they just die. Like, they kind of have to either bounce that or jump. If they bounce the freighter, they die from these 2 creatures. Yeah, they cannot bounce the freighter. If they jump the freighter, bounce something else, they die. Let's say they... No, I don't think they can make a comeback here. Pretty sure they can't. Am I missing something? Yeah, bounce this creature, take 3. No, they die. Bounce the freighter. Block the trafficker, gain 1. They die, yeah. Unless I'm missing a key interaction, which I don't think I am. Because their Kingpin cannot crew the freighter, and I think even if it could, it would not be good enough. Yeah, block that, sure. Bounce freighter and die. Yup, I mean, if you let damage happen, the opponent dies, so sure. Yup, they are still pretty dead. Could have sacked my freighter, but I don't really need to do that. Even if I sack my servo, they die. Yup. So yeah, there was no way to come back. If I don't draw the Marauder, then I have to crew the freighter with one of my 3-power creature, and then they can bounce it. Then they can just bounce one of my evasive creature, chump, and they are still in an awful spot, but they can survive. But yeah, we got there. Still unsure about that first. No, I'm not really unsure. I'm pretty sure you should attack, and I'm pretty sure the opponent takes 5. But yeah, I think I misplayed. But in the end, since I was able to make that big attack with everything, it did not cost me too much. But let's say they hit their island for the select for inspection last turn, then I guess they could not select this turn. I don't know. I think the opponent, given my draw, was pretty far behind either way, and I might have made a small mistake. But yeah, that was round 2. Pretty interesting, pretty good draws, pretty funny. I hope you enjoyed, and I see you for round 3 then.